what that dang. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunum, where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate you and I love you. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'll do it on just one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the Black Pot. And I want to say thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you and I love you. This is from the newsreel, which we always keep real. Now the very first story we are looking at today, my brother, my sister, is a very interesting one, and I need you to come along. Oh gosh. Oh my God. My brother, my sister. Interesting things are happening. And I need you to come along. I need us to reason deep and wild. Hey! My brother, my sister, this story is coming all the way from Peace FM Online. And it says, Attorney General Iyoko Boss must resign or be fired. And this is Adam Bona explaining. And I read it. Security and Safety Analyst Dr. Adam Bona has called for the dismissal of Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfred Yabuadame, as well as the Executive Director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Iyoko Mame Tiwa Danquah. He described their roles in justice delivery as untenable. In an exclusive interview with Ghana Weber on Tuesday, June 4, 2024, Dr. Bona pointed to allegations of witness tampering recently made against the Attorney General and demanded Mr. Dame's resignation, questioning his competence to lead the quest for justice on behalf of Ghanaians. If such a person prosecuting you, how would you feel? Would you believe that you will be treated fairly and reasonably, looking at what has come out and judging from other incidents that the Attorney General has been involved in? The question is he competent enough to represent us? Such a person going forward, I would humbly ask the president to fire him. He should step aside so that while a probe is undertaken, if he's able to clear himself, why not? He could return. Now, linking this statement to the money laundering investigation initiated against former Minister for Sanitation, Cecilia Abinadapa, Dr. Bona said the level of contradiction exhibited by Godfred Dame and Madam Tiwa clearly showed that the two are not fit for their positions. I was on a certain police platform a couple of years ago, and I criticized Madam Tiwa on how she was handling the Takrade girls issue, the missing girls, and also some other things related to the investigation. Adam Bona was on the same platform, and he was one of the persons that came against me seriously because Madam Tiwa was also on that same police platform. They all came against me, and Adam Bona was the leader. That I was attacking Madam Tiwa because of Namwan's issues that she was involved in. Today I am glad that all these naysayers are rallying behind me, having seen that Madam Tiwa was a square peg in a round hole. Takrady girls issue, the missing girls. Oh, we have found them and we will return them to their families. A few weeks later, she comes out to say, oh, yes, we have actually found them, but it's their bones that we have found. My brother, my sister, families up till now do not understand. Did they go into the forensics to be able to tell specifically that these truly were the bones of the Takrady girls who got missing? How did they get killed? Did the investigations just end there? By finding some bones, all questions have been answered about this. Madam Tiwa is now the boss of Ioko. Does she have the competence? What is her training all about? My brother, my sister, at the end of the day, does she have the requisite training for investigations? My brother, my sister, today we all seem to be speaking the same language. As for Godfrey Dame, he is a walking disgrace to the legal system and the justice system in this country. Now, the tape that came out, allegedly containing his voice, if he was such a serious legal person, he will step aside and say, listen, I am a clean gun. I am as clean as the whistle. For that matter, I step aside like Abner Dapa did. Much as I do not respect this tape that has come out, I want to step aside so investigations can be done so cleanly. But no, the dirty guy is still in power. Sitting down there, my brother, my sister, throwing innuendos, my brother, my sister, and speaking big legal English with nothing to show. This country has become a comic nation with a president who is supposed to be a lawyer who has no respect for the legal system. A president lawyer, my brother, my sister, in his days of jurisdiction, the law has truly become an ass that is running into a hole. In fact, running into an asshole. I am shocked, my brother, my sister, to the very bottom of my nucleus. My brother, my sister, an attorney general has been caught on tape, allegedly, spewing rubbish and foolishness, trying to come together with an accused person, collaborate to visit an individual with harm and the whole nation with falsity. The guy is still walking around holding his position as the attorney general. Does this tell us that we are a serious nation? It tells us that we are a comic nation that jokes with almost everything. My brother, my sister, we are in a circus. This is not a nation. It is a circus. I am so hurt. My brother, my sister, I've spoken to a number of police people and they all don't have any confidence in Madam Tiwa. Many believe that she rose to this position because of a political leanings. We all remember the A+ issue, how she came forward to beg A+. In fact, and when this tape came out, it shocked the whole nation. She is still on the case of A+. The last time that I checked, she was fingered in another dirty issue concerning A+. And I called A+ personally to find out if what I was reading was true. And he told me it was true. What was this issue about? It was about a minister who was supposed to be investigated. And Madam Tiwa allegedly came in to try and stop that investigation by talking to A+ to back down. An investigator who begs people to run away from investigation. This one too, is that an investigator? A lawyer who is scared to go to court, is that one to a lawyer? A doctor who is scared of the hospital, is that one to a doctor? A juju man who is scared of black pots, is this one to a juju man? My brother, we need to take our nation serious. Jokers are in power. Thieves are in power. My brother, people who are not anywhere near loyal to the nation are in power. They are those who are bleeding the nation. They belong to secret cults and organizations, my brother, my sister, that protect them, my brother, my sister, against the common good of the ordinary Ghanaian. It's a shame. Where has loyalty gone to? Where has patriotism gone to? I look at these things and every single minute I lose courage and I lose confidence in my own country, Ghana. Who are these dirty people in power? Who have reduced the nation to nothingness in these times? Well, Adam Bona has spoken, and I'm glad. He's speaking the same language I spoke a couple of years ago that he came boldly to fight me about. I leave it here. This one I'm reading from 3 News. And it says, after forcing trial, I am not surprised. They always resort to these tricks. And this is Godfrey Dami speaking. The Attorney General. Attorney General Godfrey Dami says he's not surprised that the minority leader, Dr. Ketzel Atuforsen, and the third accused in the ambulance case, Richard Dajakpa, have filed for the case to be thrown out. He says they always resort to dirty tricks. So Godfrey Dami is not talking about the tape that is in circulation. He's talking about the case that he's pursuing. Wow, interesting times are here. Hey, we live in a nation where tapes, authentic tapes, are vilified and thrown under the bus. We all remember Yao Osafo Marfo telling us that if you do not come from an area in Ghana that has natural resources, rich, you should never ever be president. Is this one too a wise statement? Yet he became the advisor of the president. He never apologized for that tape. All he did was to come out and say, oh, the tape has been doctored. That's what they say. They have no evidence. All the forensics are against what they are saying. In this country, we don't take forensic evidence serious. Do we have a police forensic department? Is it a white elephant or a toothless bulldog? I don't see the action. In some countries, forensics is everything. Anything that happens, right from money laundering all the way through murder, and even, my brother, my sister, common poisoning. They use forensics to be able, yes, to demystify some of these occurrences. Not in our country. In some countries, they even fall on psychics. Do you know who a psychic is? A lot of religions around the world do not ascribe to psychics. But the police in the West, after forensics have failed and all the signs, they fall on psychics. Psychics in Ghana will be called witches. They are those who are able to tell you, oh, from the crystal ball, or from this or from that, please go under the sea. At this point, you will find the rubbles of the plane that crashed. And truly, people go there and see this. In Africa, we call them witches. If they are in the church, then they are called prophets. If they belong to Islam, then some people might just call them malams. Malamboka. My brother, my sister, Godfrey Dami is not interested in the leaked tape. The government doesn't seem to be interested in the leaked tape. If I were this guy, as I said, I will step aside and allow a cleaning of the cupboard. If there are skeletons in there, shall we sweep them out and keep the cupboards clean? Now, there is this thing I'm reading from my Joy Online, and it says, maybe God wants you to fulfill the National Cathedral promise. And this is an apostle telling Bawumia. Let's see which apostle this is. Presiding apostle and general overseer of Freedom Chapel International Ministry, Francis Amoako Attah, has urged the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to see to the completion of the controversial National Cathedral project. He said, Dr. Bawumia might be destined to fulfill this project, which has stalled for years and caused significant controversy. I leave it here. Now, related to this is something from Ghana Web, and it says, Muslim president to dedicate Christian temple will be prophetic. Prophet Amoako Attah to Bawumia, and I read, who is the other prophet in the other case? What's his name? Do you remember? Francis Amoako Attah. This is the same person who is speaking here. I read, a top clergyman has tasked Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia to champion the completion of the controversial National Cathedral of Ghana project. According to Prophet Amoako Attah, it will be prophetic that a major Christian place of worship will be completed and dedicated by a Muslim president, assuring that Bawumia emerges, assuming that Bawumia emerges the next president. I leave it here. So you see that the Christian pulpit has become a pulpit of politics, right? This is clean politics. He's saying, oh, should Bawumia become the next president, it will be so prophetic for him to champion the completion of the National Cathedral. And he is eating into the vibe of Bawumia saying that should he become president, he would make sure that the National Cathedral is completed using private energy. Some of these apostles, they behave as if they have no common sense. Amoako Attah is behaving like a man with no common sense. I am Yopi. This guy has been in power for close to 8 solid years. He is not the messenger, my brother, my sister, at the presidency. He is not even the secretary at the presidency. He is the vice president. He is the second most powerful man in the country. In his reign, he's never been able, together with his boss, to complete this cathedral. They used it as a conduit pipe to political corruption. Political gymnastics and jingoism, all embedded and infused with dirty corruption. Even the president's prophet in Kumasi, who was my schoolmate at TIA Ahmadiyya Secondary School, Reverend Kusi Boateng, was fingered several times, attempting to steal and stealing from the cathedral project. To the point that some of the well-meaning men and women of God who had been assigned to the cathedral project all decided to resign and leave and ask for full investigation into this dirty criminal activity. Mensa Otabil decided to urge himself out. Archbishop Duncan Williams decided to excuse himself. Eastwood Anaba decided, to push himself out of this conundrum of political gymnastics. Yes, with 100% corrupt innuendos and underpinnings and undertones. My brother, my sister, Amoako Attah says that Oh, it is prophetic, you know, that should you become president, you would complete this. Apostle, please, if you're talking the Bible, talk the Bible. What is prophetic about a lying, criminal-minded politician building and completing a certain national cathedral that a certain Christian president promised and could not build? Right from the beginning of the cathedral, you will realize that God is so angry with this dirty project. From the man who came to draw the building, the architect, my brother, my sister, the designer who brought us the designs, David J. My brother, one controversy to the other. From the cost of the cathedral all the way down, my brother, my sister, to his personal problems of rape and so on and so forth in England, to the point that they are pulling out some kind of awards that they gave to him in honor. Can't you see that God is angry with you? My brother, my sister, to Amoako Attah, please, if you want to be a politician, just leave the pulpit, keep it clean. Do not dirty it with dirty politics. I am sad. I leave it here. So my name Black Rasta, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate and I love you. It's been the Black Paul.